A few months ago, I asked if you'd be interested in seeing a flight review video, well, at least a flight experience. I used to fly a lot before the pandemic, getting to and from the various cruise ships that I was working on as a guest speaker, and I really enjoy the flying experience. I love the takeoff, being above the clouds, watching the world from 30,000 feet, and the experience of landing. And so I thought it'd be nice to share with you my first flight since the pandemic. This particular flight was on board a Qantas 737. Beforehand, I managed to have a brief visit to the Qantas Business Lounge and grabbed a coffee, and of course the mandatory hand sanitizer. Flying in Australia at the moment is a very different experience to flying in Australia before the pandemic. There's a lot fewer flights operating across Australia at the moment as our international borders remain closed. You also have to wear masks whilst in the airport and on board the aircraft throughout the duration of the flight, except of course when you're eating. Today I was flying on board a Boeing 737-800. Having boarded the aircraft, I settled into a business class seat in row 1. It's of course really interesting to step back on board an aircraft after over a year being away from flying, so I enjoyed the views out the window of the other aircraft at the terminal.
It's great to have you with us. We ask that you please place any larger bags in the overhead lockers, small bags under the seat in front of you, and any handheld devices in the seat pocket. If you aren't seated in an exit row today, please place all baggage in the overhead lockers.
One of the nicest things about an early morning flight is watching the sunrise as we waited for our tug, which was a rather colourful tug that managed to push us back only about 10-15 minutes late. Something that was sad to see at the airport here is the former Virgin Australia Airbus A330s awaiting to be returned to their lessors. Virgin has suffered quite a lot during the pandemic and did retire its Airbus A330 fleet. The views on takeoff were spectacular, and it was a joy to be back in the sky again. Once we cleared the airport and went above the clouds, we got that fantastic view that I was so familiar with from times gone by of the aircraft passing over the clouds below. This aircraft was wearing the new Qantas livery. Today was a short 45-minute flight, but we still got a full breakfast. The breakfast consisted of a hot option, which was an egg omelette with bacon, tomatoes and spinach, as well as a warmed muffin, some yogurt, an apple and some fruit juice. I was really impressed with the catering on board this flight, and they also offered coffee before the aircraft commenced its descent. Whilst I was enjoying my breakfast, I took in the spectacular views of the clouds as we made our way across the Australian desert.
We're about to prepare the cabin for landing, so please now check the seat allocated to you on your boarding pass. It's now time to put all laptop computers and other large personal electronic devices away, and please make sure your bags are in the overhead lockers or underneath the seat in front of you. If your seat is in an emergency exit row, all bags must be placed in the overhead lockers. Please place your seat, footrest and take the screen turntable back to the original position.
And then for the final part of the flight, another part of the experience that I've always enjoyed is the landing. Watching mesmerised out the window as this very heavy machine makes a perfect touchdown onto the runway. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this brief flight video. If you'd like to see more things from an aviation perspective, let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much again, and when it's safe for us to all travel, I hope to see you on board.